So I don't want to make myself sound old, but TikTok and Instagram weren't a thing when I was growing up. Heck, even YouTube was just becoming a thing. TV was the main way anyone saw advertisements, and commercials were their own special form of entertainment. Again, not to make myself sound old, but I've just started to become nostalgic for the things I watched and listened to as a kid. Truly though, nobody is out here doing it like 2000s commercials were, so I'm gonna be sharing my favorite infomercials. Of the many as seen on TV products I wanted, these are the few that my family actually got when I was a kid. Floam was the only one in particular that my mom purchased over the phone. Ordering things online was just starting to become the norm, so most of these commercials promoted easily ordering with a simple phone call. Of course, it took forever to arrive, and when it did, it was already dried up. I played with it for maybe 5 minutes and then was done. You certainly couldn't do with it any of the things I said because the texture was so off. Can't win them all though. 1 out of 10. Billy Mays commercials were always a win though. Truly the biggest treasure in the advertising world at the time. I wanted everything he tried to sell me. My parents bought some Mighty Putty to use for a project, and even though you weren't supposed to touch it with your bare hands, I played with that stuff like it was Play-Doh. It became just as much a toy for me as it was a useful tool. 10 out of 10. This shouldn't be a controversial statement, but corner pieces of a brownie are the worst pieces. Really, any type of cake or brownie is inferior if it's an edge piece, and this pan ensures that. The item worked for the most part, but it was not for me. 2 out of 10. I am definitely one of those people that hesitates when using something in the fear of ruining it. Of course, I want to get my use out of it, but how could I let this cute ladybug get damaged? I protected this thing with my life. Super cute, but not practical for me. 5 out of 10. Of course, a lot of the items that had great commercials were items I was gonna buy anyway, but the advertisements were so exciting back then because some of them would end on a cliffhanger. They told full-on stories or connected to each other in different ways. I'd want to tune in and see the next commercial in the same way I now want to come back and watch a YouTuber's newest video. Not to mention some of the most iconic pieces of music at the time came from those commercials. We could easily have a full-on concert with all of these songs. Just be wary, you listen to the song once and it will play in your head forever. And of the many commercials I saw, these were the items that captured my heart but that I never had the chance to purchase. Scented things really started to become a thing as I got to be a teenager. I remember being creeped out and confused by the line of scented clothing that stores like Justice started putting out. But this commercial sold the idea of having your plush smell like berries as the best thing ever. And these babies were portable, so you better believe I plan on bringing mine with me everywhere I went. They look so angelic in the commercial, but in reality when you open these things up, it makes a horrific sound like you're breaking your bones. Still, I have to live out my dream and carry one of these around with me someday. I'm almost certain this is a scam, but I still want one. This is an infomercial that I strangely have the clearest memory of from when I was a kid. Crossbody bags weren't really a thing at the time, or at least I never knew them to be a staple in the fashion world yet. Most of the beauty gurus I watched showed off their giant Louis Vuitton bags, so this was a new thing for me. Really, this just had everything you want in a commercial. Excessive repetition, overacting, and situations that never happen. I'm living for how functional this thing is. I mean, how adorable that it has this cute pocket for your cell phone, which clearly has no use nowadays because phones are now the size of the bag itself, but I still want one. I really just can't believe items like these, or something as iconic as a Snuggie, were released when I was a kid. I remember some of these ads just as well as any TV show or movie I loved at the time. If you're looking for a new form of entertainment, 2000s infomercials are the way to go.